Welcome back. Liberal billionaire George Soros donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to a campaign looking to sabotage British voters' 2016 decision to leave the European Union.
Soros Foundation stating the grant was, quote, to support British groups striving to ensure that this crucial debate is not shut down.
But wasn't the debate decided when a majority of voters chose to leave the EU? Here to weigh in, former UK Independence Party leader and Fox News contributor Nigel Farage. Nigel, it's no surprise to you that someone like George Soros would try to undermine the will of the people to pursue his open borders agenda. What do you make of the most recent attempt?
No, it's no surprise at all. In fact, I've been saying since 2011 that we all need to wake up to who George Soros is and how big his organisation is. And just get a handle on this. You know, his Open Society Forum has received $30 billion, not million, $1 billion. This is the biggest political campaigning organisation the world has ever seen. He has got an agenda, and there's nothing illegal in that, but he doesn't believe in what he calls nationalism and what I would call nation-state democracy. And Brexit was about saying we want to govern our own country and make our own laws. And this man, okay, so far we've discovered about $1 million that he spent on various organisations that want to overturn the Brexit result. I suspect that's the tip of the iceberg. If you really examine the money this man is spending across the whole of Europe, in America, to push his agenda, which is to get rid of the nation state and to encourage mass migration. And I'm just saying to people, you know, in an era when much of the media is obsessing about Russian collusion, well, if ever there was an investigation needed, it's into just what exactly has Open Society done over the course of the last few years.
So, Nigel, for those viewers of ours who don't really know who George Soros is, he's kind of a mysterious, shadowy figure. Briefly, just tell us, who is he?
Well, he's an 87-year-old. He was born in Hungary and lived as a child through the bad times there under Nazi rule. He came to the West, initially to London, then to New York. He's been in New York for the best part of 50 years. I mean, to be fair to him, he is one of the most successful stock market investors history has ever seen. You know, he's made tens of billions getting call after call right. So he's clearly a very clever man with a big political agenda. And there's nothing wrong or illegal in that. But as I say, normally, you know, wealthy people might put a few $1 million into what they believe in, whether it's the Democrats or whether it's the Republicans or whatever it may be. But in this case, we're talking about $30 billion. And it is literally the biggest and most powerful campaigning organisation that's ever been seen across the West, and we need to start talking about it.
Nigel, let me ask you about another topic, and that is Woodward and Bernstein, the journalist behind Watergate, now saying that Trump's actions similarly eerie to Nixon's. We're going to put on the wall here this quote from Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward in a CNN and Washington Post thing. President Trump insists it's all a witch hunt and an unfair examination of his family's personal finances. No wonder many people are making comparisons to the Saturday Night Massacre of 1973. Nixon didn't know it at the time, but the Saturday Night Massacre would become a pivot point in his presidency, crucial to the charge that he'd obstructed justice. What do you make of it?
Well, what I make of it is this investigation has been going on now for a very long time. Incidentally, it's been happening here too. Did the Russians influence Brexit? I mean, you know, we've kind of reached a level of hysteria with all of this. All I can say is that if the Washington Post and CNN are pulling these two guys out, who without doubt did remarkable work 40 years ago, it must be just about the last shot they've got in the barrel. Come on, months and months of these investigations, and nothing of any significance whatsoever has been uncovered. And I'm not surprised the president in private is frustrated by all of this. After all, what he wants to do is to get on with the job. I really think, you know, they basically don't have any bullets left to fire.
Well, of course. And Nigel, now that we're in the clear, our next interview will be conducted in Russian, so brush up on your Russian, will you? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good to talk.